It's your girl T. So today we will be sublimating on this tumbler using this sublimation image right here. So all day long, y'all, and I do mean literally all day long, I was like, Cricut has this new larger print than cut feature, right? So I couldn't figure out what was going on until just now. Your girl wasn't in beta mode. So just a heads up, if you are trying to do a larger print and cut, please make sure that you are in the beta mode and you don't take literally all day like I did to figure it out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So again, I've already showed you the print that we'll be using today. And I did cut it out larger than needed using the Cricut print then cut feature. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to turn my phone down to my table so that you guys will be able to see what I am doing. Actually, let me show you what all you will need. So of course you will need a sublimation image. Make sure you mirror it. You will also need a tumbler. I prefer heat gun. You will need heat resistant gloves, and you will need you some shrink wrap. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the video without further ado. Oh, and I'm sorry, you will need you some heat tape as well. So let me grab this heat tape from over here. This is just some heat tape that came with my PYD sublimation oven that we will be using today. I haven't really used this brand of tape, so I don't know how well it works, but we're going to find out together. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut off a few pieces of the tape so that I can have them ready so that I can tape down our image and to see how this sublimates, okay? Y'all, we're gonna get into the Sawgrass SG500 as well in a later video. As you are entering the room, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. This will help push the content out to YouTube and help trigger the algorithm, and it will also let me know which videos you guys like to see to keep helping make content. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put that right there so we'll have it, and I'm gonna move these scissors. All right, so as you can see, the image is bigger than the cup. And that's for two reasons. One, because we want to make sure that it is going to line up and meet. So somewhere right in here, you can feel for your seam. Generally, what I like to do is, I know that this is the seam right here. So I pull this side as tight as I can, and I can feel the seam right along in here. So what I am going to do is fold this back, and hopefully you guys can see it. So all I'm doing is I'm taking where the seam is and I'm just folding it back. And the reason I fold mine first is because I want to make sure that everything is going to line up once we cut it, because once we cut it, we will have to reprint it. So I'm going to grab my scissors, and as you can see, we probably could make this go back, and we can fold this back just a little bit more. So let's go ahead. We're gonna cut the top part off that I've already cut so far, and we're just gonna go up Y'all, this is not a project that I worked beforehand, which was my intention to work this project before going live with it. But however, after spending all day trying to figure out how to get it to print larger than needed when I wasn't in print to cut, that wore me out in itself. So I just decided that we would that I would come on and we would do this together. Okay, so I do have that taped down. I'm trying to make sure that this seam though, because I want that seam to meet. So we're just going to see how this sublimates for us. And again, I know that the top and the bottom is larger than is needed. So what we're going to do, we ran out of tape, so I'm going to get another piece of tape. And I'm just going to do it like that. So what you want to do is you want to fold the edges of your paper over like so. And all you're doing while you're folding it over is you're making sure that when you cut it off, that you're going to have enough room, because you want, see that? You want the cup to sublimate, the image, excuse me, to be sublimated all the way at the top. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little split in our image, and then I'm just going to take the scissors and I'm just going to cut around. This will give us a crisp, clean edge, and you're still gonna have some up there. This just gets most of the excess off to start with, and then you have all of this right here that you can still press down, because you want the image itself to sublimate all the way to the top. Okay. And all you do is just go around the image. Because you don't want it to sublimate on the rim of the cup. So you just, all that excess, you just want to make sure that you are taking it off. And then the little overhang that you will have left, that will be what the shrink wrap will take care of. So now we are on the bottom, and we want to do the same thing for the bottom. We want to make sure that we are pressing it around, and you're going to cut the excess off of the bottom. Again, I put a little slit in mine to help us get started. And I'm literally just cutting around. And I know some people say, well, why cut it bigger than you need? Because it's easier to trim away the excess and waste a little bit of paper, sublimation paper, than it is, and it's a little cheaper too, in case you mess up. So that's why I do it. So we now have our image where once we put our shrink wrap on, the top and the bottom, we know that that's going to sublimate. and not give us any ghosting. So now what I am going to do is from the top all the way down the seam of my cup, I'm going to do that. Okay. And then I'm also just going to go around it. Oops, I got a flock dot on there. And I'm also just going to go around it in the middle. And remember, I'm mainly securing it extra because I do not know how this PYD tape works, okay? This tape is probably a lot of overkill, but if you don't want ghosting in your image, sorry guys, because you couldn't see, but if you don't want ghosting on your image and you want it to line up and, you know, look like a decent cup, this is just my way of trying to ensure that we can get a decent cup. Okay. Do you have to use all this tape? Of course not. But if you want a decent image, then I suggest that you do so. Okay. All right, y'all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. Well, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and slide this cup in the shrink wrap first, and then I will cut our oven on to heat up, simply because I don't want anything to blow. So I'm just going to hop down here and plug up this in. Let's see, we're gonna unplug that, and we're gonna plug that up. So I just hop down there to the printer. And what you want to do is you want to have on one of your heat gloves to start off with, like so. Just because you don't want this to, you know, burn your hand. So what I'm going to do is, and you can see it shrinking, and you're going to want that top, you're going to want the top to look just like that, okay? And you're going to want the bottom to do the same thing. So you want it to look just like that, so that it is making sure that it is still tight on here, okay? Tight as possible is what we're looking for, so that we can try and get a good seal sublimated for our cup, okay? And I'm going to say that that is good. I'm going to go ahead and unplug the heat gun again, because I don't want anything to short out or blow in my house. All right. Whoopsie daisy. Sorry, I dropped you guys. Well, I didn't drop you. The this stand from the Dollar Tree did. So we want our top to look like this, like so, and you want your bottom to look like that, and you want your cup, and this is hot, okay, and then you want it to look like that. So this is our PYD sublimation oven that we are going to be using. I'm going to go ahead and plug the sublimation oven up. Okay. And we have it in Fahrenheit. So I don't want to change it back necessarily to Celsius. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert what 195 degrees Fahrenheit Celsius is in Fahrenheit. All right, so we want to convert 195 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. So that's going to be about 383 degrees in Fahrenheit. So we want to move this up to 383. Well, we're going to do 386. Or actually, can we, how do we get the bottom to do it? All right, lower. All right. And we are going to let that heat up. And we're going to do it for 6 minutes, okay? So I'll bring you guys over so you can see that. Oops. So again, that's 385 degrees Celsius. Excuse me, Fahrenheit for 6 minutes, okay? And then this is the little tray that it'll be sitting on. And so it's now heating up. You have to hit this little play button over here. And then you'll see, I don't know how well you guys can see that right there. Where it's showing that it's heating up. You can't. Okay. Not going to be able to see that part very, very well because I am on the phone and not my camera. Actually, let's see if I can zoom you guys in. Ah, you can. There you go. So I zoomed you guys in. So again, that is 6 minutes, 385 degrees, and the blinking or flashing light that you see in there, that lets us know that it is heating up, okay? And remember, this is how we want our cup to look. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. And that's our bottom, okay? I actually think I can get this a little tighter, so I'm going to go ahead. Hopefully this doesn't blow anything out. But I think I'm going to try and get it wrapped around just a little bit tighter. I believe we can. Yeah, not much, but all right. Okay. There we go. All right. So I'm going to lay this down. I'm not going to stand it up. So as you can see, we're just laying it down on its side. It's still heating up. And this little thing here doesn't want to cooperate. Trying to get it where y'all can see that. Sorry about the camera shaking, guys. That's just me trying to get a good angle for you all. And I just went on ahead and put it in there. So you have heat, at the top and the bottom. So that will give it that even flow. And once that stops blinking, then I'll hit this button right, the third button over here that I'll show you. And if you happen to hear my Frenchies in the background, pardon them, they are in timeout because they didn't listen today. They have been very, very bad Frenchies. All right, and it is still heating up. And guys, I was just looking at the PYD manual. It does say that when you are converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit, to make sure that you are coming as close as you can with the proper temperature. So it said 383. I went 3 degrees higher with 386 because there's no way to actually make that dial turn to 386. Okay. So we will just check, we'll check it at 3 minutes. Okay. All right, so we are going to go ahead and start. It should start counting down, but why didn't it? All right. And it will start counting down. There it is. And it'll start counting down. So hopefully these 6 minutes will die down. I will be back with another video later on today. So if you see your girl in the same clothes, it will be the same day. Your girl washes over here, so just want to let you know, pumping out a lot of content for today. Seems as I don't get to pump out the content in which I would like to pump it out as fast as I would like to pump it out, because I do work as well. I have orders and other things that I have to tend to as well. So with that being said, it's not that I'm not being consistent. It's just that I literally stay busy. I will go ahead and put out that you guys will get a probably a different kind of video while I'm on vacation. We'll let y'all see what vacation is like, what we did, and things of that nature. Okay. And just the heads up, you can download my app, T's Boutique, at on iOS and Android. I do have a website that I will leave the link in the description box below. Please make sure you go and check out the link, refer your friends, tell your friends to tell a friend, tell your friends to tell their mama, whoever. Come on and get some of the fresh things that we will be offering over there. Okay. So because it is at like half, well, I don't really have to turn it because it's getting even pressure, but I was going to turn it thinking that I'm using the real can't press. But I'm not. I'm actually using the oven, so I do not have to turn it. That heat is getting evenly distributed. Okay. And we have about 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. If you are looking for DTF transfers to be printed and you want them to be sent to you, keep in mind, I do sell those. Those are available. Leave a comment or go to my website to inquire. Just remember, if you want to press them yourself, you must have a heat press or heating device of some, a heat source of some sort that can at least reach up to 400 degrees. Okay. Other than that, you will not be able to print it. I'm gonna peep in here and see. It looks like it's doing pretty good. We have 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. And I will also give you my final thoughts of this project and the PYD Life Sublimation Oven at the end of this video. Okay. We got a minute and 40 seconds to go. So 6 minutes is not too bad. And when you're doing your shrink wrap, you want to make sure that you get even pressure all the way around it. You don't want to put any kinks or holes in it where you won't be able to get, you know, good tight pressure. Another thing that you can use on top of the shrink wrap is called the sublimation bands. We will get into that as well in another video. And they do go by like size wise for the different sizes of tumblers, so you want to be careful when doing that. We have about 48 seconds left, and with me peeping in here, yeah, it looks like it's going to sublimate pretty well, but we won't know until we actually take it out. I have had some epic failures with sublimation. Sublimation is just one of those things that you have to make sure your measurements are spot on or a little bit over, and you would need to know how to cut your excess off properly. We have 3 seconds left, so I've already put my heat gloves on. As you can see, it is beeping to let us know that it's ready. I'm going to go ahead and take it out, y'all. So this is what we have, and that's just through the paper. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to move you guys back. Let me take my glove off and slide y'all in so that y'all can see the cup. Okay. So looking at it, it looks like it sublimated pretty dang on good. Okay. Pretty good. So remember, this is hot. This is very hot. So you'll want to make sure that you have on the proper heating gloves when taking the shrink wrap off, okay? I can't stress that enough. You're going to want to make sure that you are being safe, because even with the heat gloves on, this is hot, okay? I can feel the heat through the heat gloves, so that lets you know how hot this is. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this heat tape off. Yikes. And you probably should wait, drop my scissors. You probably should wait till this cool down, but y'all, I'm impatient Betty, so I like to see what we are dealing with. I promise I'm impatient. So I definitely I'll pick that up in a minute. The tape. Wow. Y'all, look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Wait a minute. Somebody come look at this. Do y'all hear me? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna take my oh, it's still hot. All right. I'm going to, yikes, I still look different. Okay. So as y'all can see, that seam that I was talking about, it met up perfectly. It met, oops. Ah, jeez. Okay, so I'll put you right there because the thing doesn't want to hold up. So as you can see, my seam met up perfectly. My colors, I know why. I mean, they're bright, they're vibrant enough for this particular pattern. This particular pattern actually was supposed to be like have a bunch of pink in it, but I put the wrong color ink in the last 2 chambers when I converted my printer. So I'm not really worried about that. You know, once that ink goes out, dies down from being used, and I put the right color, but the right color ink back in it, it will be just fine. But what am I love it. I do. And we got it all the way down to the bottom. We don't have any ghosting. And that seam, y'all, yes. This is, so overall, this project turned out amazing. It turned out better than I thought it would turn out. Y'all, I just want y'all, look at this one more time. Somebody look at this. It sublimated perfectly. Like the seam met up 100%. We didn't get any ghosting. We got great ink release. Our colors came out very, very well, considering that I did, when I converted the printer, that I put the wrong ink in it in the last two chambers. So that came out absolutely amazing. Now, my final thoughts on this project, because I did not work the project beforehand with you guys. I will say that if you have the Epson 8550 and you are trying to print a larger print than cut like I did, because I actually printed this 10 by 9. We know that in the live form of Cricut, we can't print that big, so we would have to use the beta version. It took me all day long to figure out when I realized that I wasn't in the beta version, so that I finally got the print to print. So that's that. The PY Sublimation oven, I love it. It did pretty good. I'll give you guys one more look at the PYD. Whoops. At the PYD sublimation oven. This is the sublimation oven that we used today. We did bake it at 386 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 minutes. So until next time, that's all I have for you guys. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you in my next video.